What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and I am happy to announce that those three big bad boy money printers are now mine. They officially ROI. Now, I know you guys have been asking me in live streams. A lot of you guys already knew that. These actually ROI'd like January 2nd or something like that, so it's been almost a month. Now, I do have one temperature. It's been warming out. It's not minus 40, 45 outside here in Canada anymore. You can see the red light blinking. If I reset it, it goes away. But using the temperature monitor tool, I am seeing that guy, the KS1, is actually sitting at like 102 degrees on one of the chips there. So I might have to do a thermal job on that guy there. You know, I don't know if I'm going to record it or not. You guys have seen Panda do it. Was the first to discover that these issues were happening in these Ice River ASICs. Now, this is also overclocked, so that could obviously be the reason as well. The KS2 here, this one is overclocked a little bit. It doesn't seem to have any temperature issues. This one is not overclocked because the one KS2 here would not take it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now in terms of overclocking. So things are looking good so far. I've now got my own money printers online and rocking away.
Are you looking for ASIC miners, just not sure who to trust? Head on over to Crypto Miner Bros. They do have the latest models of all the popular brands from Bitmain, Ice River, Gold Shell, Jazz Miner, Apollo, MicroBT, IB-Link, Canaan, Avalon, and in Silicon. We got the S21 is already on order. I believe shipping begins in May. This thing is 200 terahash at 3,000 watts. On top of the X5 XMR miner, we got some hydro-cooled Bitcoin miners, and of course the S19K. Be sure to use my link in the description, and code RABID will grant you $50 off per item that you purchase at any given time, as well as shipping fees are calculated in the price already, and they drop the value so that import fees are next to nothing.
Now, I do plan on possibly taking the overclocking off of these things eventually, because they are using an extra 1800 watts for 1.5 terahash. Now, I can run more CPUs or something for those 1800 watts and then be more profitable. But, you know, then I might not have to actually do the thermal job there and see what that temps look like when it's not overclocked. But I do got to decide what I want to do soon, because I don't want this thing melting down like a nuclear reactor. So we're going to jump over to the workstation here fairly soon, but there is one thing I want to point out. These things could have ROI'd quite a bit of time before that. I'll explain why in a bit, but if it wasn't for T-Swift, honestly, I wouldn't be able to have these in the first place, so it was my only option. But we'll go through why I'm saying this should have ROI'd a lot earlier, and then something to kind of look at if you're looking at some type of deal, or if someone does, you know, give you an opportunity to kind of do this. I would always recommend just mine the coin by itself, and then once it hits the price to ROI or something, then just send the coins or sell them to USDT or whatever, and then move it that way if the opportunity ever comes up. But let's jump into the workstation now and give you kind of an idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are in my spreadsheet after the second type of deal kind of went through here. It was $10,000, and then, you know, for showing some of the Kaspa overclocks and stuff, it was drop $100 here, $200 there. Regardless, in the end, it worked out to be $9,500. Now, when I first got it, it was $30,300, and I did mine on this for about 42 days before the other deal came in, and then it started at 1 again for a total of 134 days is what I did have these mining to T-Swift's account and then trying to ROI this miner. But for this one, it did look like after the 10,000 mark here, it did take a total of 92 days. Now, when we first made the original deal, we can see that it said only 77 days. So it was a few days over time as the Kaspa block reward drops and then exchange fees and all sorts of things go through. It did extend that, and then Kaspa price is obviously a big deal here. But it did take 90 some days here for this to finally ROI from that 10,000 mark, it working out to be $9,500 in the end here. Okay, so for a baseline on how this all played out is I was mining to the K1 mining pool. I'm not sure what the pool fees were happening at the time. Originally, I thought it was going to be 0% pool fee, but I don't think that ended up happening. Regardless, you know, I think it was still 1% or something. That doesn't matter. But we're using the Ethereum network, and every night at about 9 p.m. my time, it would auto swap all my mined Kaspa for the day and then swap that into USDT. Now, it was also using ERC20, so the Ethereum network, to do so. And there were times when some dumb meme coin was popping off, so the fees were very, very high. There were times like I was losing anywhere from $5 to $20 a day on the daily things, and over time that does add up. Ethereum is expensive to use, especially when you're getting auto swapped and all the fees are coming out and all that stuff. So it did work out to be sometimes anywhere from 1 to 5 cents less on the Kaspa price that I was actually getting. And the major thing, because of all that, is it was selling every single day. So as we know, the price was up and down on Kaspa quite a bit. Here we can see 5 cent Kaspa, 4 cent Kaspa, 4 cent Kaspa. If we go to the original ones here, we were at 3 cent Kaspa, 3.9, 3.7, 3.6 cent Kaspa. We were almost down to that 2 cent range. Well, I guess not quite, but we were at very, very cheap Kaspa. The yields at the time were 5,593, 5,400, 52, 54. And then by the end of it all, we were down to getting yields of only about 564, 599, 603. So you can see like 550 to early 600s here was the yield. So as the Kaspa hash rate picked up, as well as all the hash rate and I guess the block reward dropping every month as well, the yields were dropping fairly fast here. So here's what could have happened if you would have just hodled it out and kind of went by everything. So I did mine a total of about 281,598 Kaspa. Based on when I sold, it was around 14 cents, but we can see that Kaspa did hit a peak. It was a while ago. I don't know if I would have been ROI'd at this point yet or not. I probably actually would have if I hodled everything, but it hit about 14.5 cents. 14.4, so it looks like 14.5 was the high here. So if I actually put that in, I would have mined about $40,831 if I would have just hodled it and sold it at once. So over the original one right here of the 30,000, I would have been up way more, and then I would have been able to start collecting that Kaspa, because through all this I'm definitely missing out as all those rewards continued to keep dropping and dropping over time. They're going to continue to keep dropping as time moves on. So now let's kind of look at the question. How much Kaspa would I have had if I would have just bought Kaspa? So basing it off the original 10,000 on day one, that is about 5 cent Kaspa, and I mined through all of this only about 87,599 Kaspa to ROI it, which isn't too bad here, but I would have been able to buy 200,000 Kaspa in the process. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think by the time the bull run hits or something, I will be able to mine 200,000 Kaspa. And when I get to that point, that means that this miner would have overpaid off itself because I'm starting to get more Kaspa than if I originally bought it. So I still think long term, as long as the miners don't blow up, I will probably hit over that 200,000 Kaspa mark. Again, we're going to have to wait and see if I hit that point. I am collecting the data, and currently I'm only sitting around 55,000 or something, but we'll see what happens. There's still a long time to come, a year and a half or so until the peak of that bull run. Now, if we go back to the original date here where it's 30,300 Kaspa, and day one this was only 0.039 for a Kaspa price, then I would have been able to buy 776,924 Kaspa coins. I really don't think I'm ever going to mine that one back, but again, we'll see what happens. So you can see what buying versus mining really is. Now again, maybe I could have got that on early, but you can see the entire time I did mine since day one on the original deal, it's only been 281,598 Kaspa so far, way under 776,000 Kaspa. So in this case, I really think buying the coin probably would have been a way better option. But we're miners and we're addicted to mining. All right, guys, so there we have it. This Kaspa ASIC has ROI. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on this whole situation down in the comment section below. Just to sum it up, I really do recommend, if you're trying to calculate or do an ROI on something, just mine the coins until the price hits the price point of ROI and consider that ROI. You will probably, do a lot better than just selling the coins daily and trying to do that. And I do believe that's going to make it take longer and longer to do so. But regardless, I am extremely grateful that I did get the chance to get these, because I wouldn't even have these in the first place if I didn't have this opportunity. So it doesn't matter how much I really lost, maybe a few months of power, and that's it, because I didn't have any money up front to buy these things in the first place. So having the opportunity to do it this way, I am grateful. I'm glad. These are ROI now, so I now have officially my own big boy Kaspa money printers in my own mining farm. So I am happy on that. Thank you for checking out this video. And again, if you are looking for any ASIC miners, head on over to Miner Bros today. Link in the description. Code Rabid is $50 off. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.